Hi everyone, we're still isolated due to COVID, so unfortunately this is a video that's just me. This is a response video. There was somebody on one of the forums talking about the Sun Punch, and there was a lot of debate about locking the elbow in the Sun Punch. So I'm just going to very quickly compare the way that I do it and look at an alternative punch now, which is the yin punch, which some people mix up for the sun punch. Now, the sun punch is basically, it means it's a flat-fisted punch. It's a character in, whether it's Mandarin or Cantonese, I'm not sure, but it's a character that depicts the sun. So it's a flat-fisted punch. Now, if you think logically, and I'm just going to turn both sideways here, is that when I throw a short fist punch in Wing Chun, I'm either throwing it at an intermediate level like this, or am I expanding it here? Now the one that's thrown here, if you think about the biology of your body and your biomechanics, if I'm turning this way, it's going all into my shoulder and I'm losing power. So I'm dropping it in here. This is kind of the direction it goes. This is the yin punch. See how it goes in here, and I can take it all the way from up here and I can drop it into this shot here, and I'll compress my back, I'll be soft, I'll use gravity, I might use momentum as I come forward to do it, but in effect a very short punch, and usually it means that it's turned at a slight angle in order to get the spiral in the right direction. So I'm dropping it in here. It's a very powerful low range punch as a body punch. You can do a yin punch high, you can throw it from up here, but it's for the purpose of this video, let's just stick to the fact it's going in here, so the gravity is helping it go down. Now the sun punch generally will extend it out, so generally you're extending outwards here. Certainly some people will say what happens is your fist remains flat or your wrist remains flat and your elbow does an arc, so your elbow comes out and does this arc like so, and that's correct. But people often forget a very important part of this punch is that we often operate from being in contact, so therefore it usually has a small forearm spiral with it. Obviously, like all the other things, I could turn with a punch. Obviously, if I turn, I don't want to keep it flat because it affects my shoulder. I turn almost like the fingers here. Can you see? Again, not a sun punch. But I'm going to just throw it straight. So when I throw this punch straight from this position, the arm goes out and the elbow comes up in the arc, but there's a slight turn of this forearm here, a slight spiral of this forearm. Now this slight spiral of the forearm, what it does is it deflects anything that's in contact out of the way. It literally drills its way through. So it's an effortless punch that goes through a guard quite comfortably, which suits us in Wing Chun. So if we're here, if I'm extending out to here, I'm weaker across this point. So as I extend, this slight spiral helps deflect the force in this direction. Now, the beauty of this, I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera here. The beauty of this is that when I'm in this position like this, is that whilst my fist is remaining flat, this point of my hand just drops down very slightly. Now, it's because it helps to power the turn. It helps to power the turn. You see, some people do a punch and they do this, and they're trying to do this to punch, and it's working against your body mechanics, it's working against your arm, it's going to make it stiff. So literally, as it opens out here, like this, look, like so, there's your spiral, and it's just a little drop down there to help the spiral. It's not me doing this and flicking it, it just, very little tiny drop out the spiral. Now, once you do that, and you have this spiral, you then find that even though the arm is extended, because you've done the spiral, it's not locked. Look, that's locked, that's extended, that's locked. Can you see the difference? If you just throw it without that spiral, you go straight into lock, damage your elbow, doesn't have the same power, doesn't have the same deflection, and it isn't as good. So hope that helps. Hope you enjoy this video. Of course, like any other video, please ask questions. People do it different ways, so ask questions and I'll be happy to answer them. Have a great day.